Right guys, so we are going to put steps in place to sort out your credit file by the end of this video. Let's go. Right, so firstly, I'm going to need you to go and download your credit file if you haven't already done so. You can go onto ClearScore or Credit Experian. You can go onto Equifax as well. I have accounts with those three providers. Go there, download your credit file and then come right back. Right, so now that you've done that and you have your credit file in hand, what we then need to do is click on the link in the description box below. You'll have a free financial plan. Download that, and that is going to help us work through our next steps to get put in place a really good, robust and achievable and realistic plan to move forward with your credit file. Right, so now that we've got both of those things, because we're going to need both of those things so that we can then sort of see what your spending habits are versus your financial commitments. Also, we're going to need to download and have to hand all of your bank statements as well. So now let's go over to the computer, and what we're going to do is just open up that financial plan that I told you to download, and we're going to go through those. Okay guys, so let's go. So you'll see monthly tabs within here, and you'll also see an overall tab as well. So that one is going to let you put in all of your monthly expenses, all the regular expenses that you have, like your rent, mortgage or energy bill payments, phone bills, stuff like that. You can pop all of that on your outgoings column, and you can also put in there as well your incoming. So if you put your wages in on all the income that you're going to get in, and at the bottom it's going to tell you a total amount for your monthly expenses and your monthly income, and then it's also going to tell you the difference between the two. So once you've got that and you can understand that and build a picture of yourself, you can see what all of your priority bills are going to be, and that's going to be things like number one, paying your mortgage or your rent, because obviously we as humans need a place to stay and a place to live, so we need shelter. So that's going to be a priority payment, and then you're going to go further down the list and prioritize those payments down. So once we've got all of those things listed, you can also see a load of tabs that will go into each monthly tab for the year. Those individual monthly tabs or sheets, you can open those up, and that will give you 4 weeks worth of incoming and outgoing. So it will tell you your opening balance and your closing balance, and what you can actually do with that is have a little bit of a play around and go through your bank statement, put down all of your expenses on whatever date they come within that month. So once you've got an overview of that, you can then see how that affects your income, so you can have a tweak and play with that as well, and you can see if you've got dates where where certain bills clash and you might not have enough of an income figure on that for that week which covers that outgoing balance. You can have a tweak and have a play around to see what day would suit you best. So that is really valuable, because you can then go to your creditors or the people that you need to pay and say to them, can I change the date of when I pay this bill please? Instead of paying it on the 1st, can I pay that bill on the 12th? If that gives you a little bit of wiggle room so that you can make sure you can get something going into your account to pay that bill, and see how that will affect your incomings and outgoing. But guys, please know, if you have gotten to a point where changing the payment date is not going to help, please contact the Citizens Advice, contact a financial advisor to get more information, because obviously this is me telling you this from my experience, and if you need more help and guidance, they will be able to tell you step by step what else to do if you are further along the line with that. So guys, once you've sorted out your payment dates and maybe agreed in a reduced payment plan with some of your creditors or people that you need to pay with your bill payers, after that, what you're going to need to do is just stick to that. If you think, right, I'm going to buy a certain product on a certain day, you can put the amount, it will show you how it's going to affect your payments and your account balance moving forward from that point, including all of those other priority bills that you've popped in. So it's a really good tool. You can mess about with that. Guys, I'm afraid you're going to have to be going into that much detail when you're trying to fix your credit. This is what I did, and this is what I lived by. So if I wanted to buy, for example, I needed to buy something for the kids, if I popped it in there on a certain date, I could see how that outgoing payment would affect my bills moving forward and whether I could afford it or not. So I could make that informed choice whether to buy it then or whether to wait. So yeah, that's the next step. So just make sure that all of your automatic payments and things that are coming out on those agreed dates and that agreed plan, that you stick to it. It is that boring, I'm afraid. It's going to be a waiting game. So once you've done that, that should help and repair your credit file as well. So late payments are really going to have a real negative effect on your credit file, as I'm sure you will know. So it is a long game that you're playing. You're going to make sure that you hit those payments and they are coming out on a certain date that you can stick to, and they're all coming out, flowing out of your account. So the next step is to keep things like any credit balances as low as possible. Try to utilise around 30% of that, and make sure that you keep it to that. What you can do as well, and I've spoke about this in my previous video on trying to fix your credit file, and this is what I did. You've maxed out your credit card, for example, and you want to start to reduce that. What I would do is pay in full and then spend up to 90, pay in full again on the next payday, and then pay up to 80, and then you should slowly but surely, in staged amounts that you are comfortable with, bring that down and bring it down to that 30%. That's something that I did, and that helped me, so it wasn't so much of a shock. I've gone from using 100% to then just using 30%. So if you do that in staged amounts, that really does help. If you stick to utilising about 30% of the credit available to you, that's going to show again to people that are looking on your potential lenders, that are looking on your file, that you are managing your money well. Avoid going for a lot of credit all at one go. That again is a red flag to a lender. They'll see that as maybe you're not managing your money as well as you could do, or that you're getting desperate, for example. So try to reduce any hard searches or any searches on your credit file as much as you can. So only go for credit that you need and at times that you can afford, and that to leave a footprint on your credit file. Keep those hard and soft searches as low as possible. Don't go for too much credit all at one time. And now that you have your credit file downloaded, I'm really going to need you to actually keep checking your credit file. Keep checking that so that you know if anything goes back on there, you can query that. It might be a mistake, or it might be something that shouldn't be on your file. You can query it straight away and get it removed if it is a mistake. It just helps you know what is on there, and it keeps you more in touch with your finances, and you can make avertive action as soon as possible, and if there's anything that crops up on there that shouldn't be. So if you do all of these steps, and it is going to take time, guys, it's not something that's going to happen overnight, then slowly but surely all of these steps will go towards you building a really good and a lot better credit file than what you had before. So it is a long game. It will take a while, but once you've started to do that and put these steps in place, you will start to build a good credit history. And once you build a good credit history, then you can go on to get the best rates from the lenders out there as possible, and it's going to save you money in the long run. So what are your feelings towards this? Have you got any tips and tricks that you've used that's helped you boost your credit? If you pop those in the comments below, that is great. We can all learn and share here and build together. And also please like, comment and subscribe if you enjoyed the video. It just helps the video get pushed out to more people so that I can hopefully help more people in the long run. And if you have already made those steps and started to sort out your credit file already, you might be wanting to go on to the next stage, which might be to make your money work for you now that you've worked hard to get yourself into that really good position with your credit. So you might want to do that through property investing. And guys, just remember, I'm not a financial advisor, I'm not a mortgage advisor. This is just based off my experience that I'm trying to pass on to you guys. My mortgage broker's details will be in the description box below if you want to contact her and discuss anything else with her more. Watch this video next on Bridge to Let Funding, where you can do just that. Thanks guys, see you later.